I think it is hard to explain the degree to which life itself is a radical gift. Now, I've said that before, and some people have suggested, oh no, life's really not a gift. Life is just as much a burden, or it's a dream. Or they've suggested things like, well, if you say that life is a gift, then you have to imply that there's a kind of giver of the gift, and there is no giver. I want to address exactly those questions. I think one of the ways to ask the question is, do other animals, other creatures experience the gift character of life? Now, I don't think that they do. Now, they may to some extent, especially as we move to some higher mammals. We may say, wow, they seem to be somewhat self aware enough to experience the gift character. But I think it's part of self awareness. Part of self awareness is the gift character, and by that I mean the very gift of being able to think about what's happening around you, to you, through you, by you, all of the degrees to which the organismal transpiring that is us and is all around us is made meaningful by the way that self reflexive consciousness is able to think about it. Now, so when I say the gift and life has a gift character, I think it's hard to see the degree to which it's a gift because when we say, well, it's not a gift, it is a burden, or it's a dream, or it's some other thing, we're still putting gift on a level of imagining the gift as one item compared to other items, whereas the gift that I'm talking about is the sheer fact that there could be such an option of gift and non-gift. See, there's like a whole nother level that I'm trying to address it as, like an ontological level, not an ontic level. So the ontic level or the factual level would be, do you want uh, vegetarian lasagna, or do you want meat lasagna? Or do you want to take a walk, or do you want to take a swim? Those would be options. Do you want a gift? Do you want a burden? Do you want a dream? It's as if it's one more option. But the gift is actually the very fact that there is such a thing as options that we can right now deliberate over, agonize over, relate to, think about. See, I think what's so fascinating is that in one breath, life is all that we have ever known. Life is all that we've ever known. And yet we continuously draw this line and we say, okay, well, I was born at this date and all this history happened before I was born, and then I came into the world. But see, even as I'm drawing that line right now, that's me in my life drawing that line. Now, I'm not arguing for solipsism. I don't think each of us is sort of trapped in our own head. If anything, the universe somehow has found a way to open itself to itself in various kinds of self relation, and each one of us is a moment or sort of place of that. Now, when I say again the gift, it's, do animals experience the gift? Well, I think that it's because we're able to think about our own lives and we're able to see death itself as a kind of gift. And death would be a hardship, I guess. We'd want to say, oh, death is, for many people, death is an evil, death is something that we want to avoid. But the ongoing life death, that is really just one thing. See, we have one word life and we have another word death, but there could just be one thing there called life death that our minds or our language are separating off. And I guess part of the task when I say that life is a gift is to imagine, right? To really imagine what it means to have been. Right? It's hard to be able to say, well, I can imagine what it would have been like to have not been. See, to radically imagine to have not been, that's more to force the issue of the gift character. I mean, it's sort of like Camus, the only truly philosophical question is whether or not to kill oneself. I mean, there's something about that. I mean, it's like there is for some, some hardships are so bad that I think and sometimes suicide seems like a viable option. I think in many cases that's not what we want to say. I think we want to say no, there's other options for that person. Uh, but I think those kinds of issues, they really do force that there's a difference between the particular gifts in the plural that one has or doesn't have, and the hardships that one has or doesn't have, and the very gift that is the ability to know, think about, and experience that. It's an incredible ride to be alive. I mean, it's hard because life is all we've ever known. It's hard to develop the adequate context to say, to wake up. I mean, to splash one's face and really say, "Oh my word, I'm here. I'm here." Um, I think it is a gift. I think it's and I don't think it needs a giver. See, I think that's the illusion. The When I say that it's a gift, now, take a tree, right? A tree gives its fruit, but it doesn't expect anything in return, and it gives it in a kind of mindless way. Now, does the tree really give its fruit? Well, in some ways it really does. But to say that the tree is a giver, well, it's the source of it. Well, whatever the ultimate source of this is, and I don't know if I want to say a tree has volition. I don't think the tree is intending to give me the fruit, but I can still appreciate it as a gift. I think in my own case, as someone who was adopted, my biological mother could have, we can imagine right now, okay, we play this imagination game, she could have aborted that fetus, but instead, she actually gave the gift of me, and it became, a baby for my parents, and I grew up in that way. And I think to that extent, my very life, my very being is a gift. I think it's the same thing for everyone. They just don't realize it. I think as someone who was adopted, who thought a lot about the fact that I probably could have been aborted, I mean, I guess other people maybe think that way, but maybe they don't. I don't know. There is, and in that case, okay, there really was a giver. I mean, this actual person actually gave. I think in the tree case, you have a kind of giving without an agency. I don't want to say that there's an agency, but the problem is that the self-aware cosmos, when places and moments of the cosmos emerge out and momentarily are able to reflect back upon itself, in that reflection, there is necessary a kind of separation that opens to the world as other and self as sort of over here. And as that's happening, the gift character becomes possible. And so it is life itself that is a kind of gift, but it's the particular gift of consciousness as experienced by humanity, and that makes the, I guess, the gift that I'm talking about. I mean, the real gift is being in the world such that you're able to think about, contemplate, and enjoy, sort of in a beholding kind of way, the majesty, the awe, the mystery, the beauty of the world all around you. And it's even the hardships, to be able to have those hardships rather than absolutely nothing. And I mean absolutely nothing, to see the range of what the gift is. Life itself is an absolute gift. The task is, how do we turn the hardships and the miseries into only those that come from nature and natural resistances and hardships, not have them be inflicted hatreds of people upon one another. First, how do we bring that about? And then, of that suffering, which is inevitable, those natural hardships, those forms of resistance and recalcitrance and difficulty, how do we turn those into horizons of meaning, into, I guess, some kind of vehicle for our own becoming, our own transcendence? I do think it's possible. And I do think that life is a gift. I think that people who want to say that it's not a gift, I wonder if they're not comparing it to something else, where life itself is that one grand event in which comparing itself has become possible. Okay, thanks.